Hey everyone, Sam here from Silly Stories for Kids. Guess what? Here's another story made up on the spot just for you. We hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's go! One day, two little kids named Jace and Scarlett were sitting at home. Now they'd just finished reading some books with their dad and they were looking out the window at the beautiful stars in the sky. As they were sitting and watching, all of a sudden they noticed one of the stars appeared to be moving. What's going on there? Said Jace. I don't know, said Scarlett, but it seems to be getting bigger. As they watched, it was getting bigger. Something was coming towards them. And then the closer it got, they started to be able to make out what it might be. Is that a reindeer? Said Jace. I think it is, said Scarlett. And what's that purple fuzzy thing on its back? As it rode down towards them, it landed in their front yard. Dad, there's a reindeer on our front lawn. Don't be silly, said their dad. There's no reindeers here. There is, said Scarlett. Go look. So they all went to the door and opened it up. And sure enough, in their front yard was a reindeer that was munching on some grass, and there was a purple fuzzy creature sitting on its back. Hello, said the purple fuzzy creature. It is me, the Pim Pim. Pim Pim? What are you doing here? Said Jace. Well, said Pim Pim, this is my friend Rudolph, he said. But doesn't Rudolph normally have a bright red nose? Said Scarlett. Well, yes, said Pim Pim. That seems to be the problem. The problem? Said Jace. Well, yes, me and Rudolph, we've been having a very fun day and we've been going on all kinds of very, very silly adventures, but we've realized that somewhere along the line, we lost Rudolph's nose. What? Said the kids. How did he lose his nose? Well, I don't really know, but something has happened and I do not know how to fix it. Maybe you kids could help us find Rudolph's nose? The kids looked at their dad. He smiled. Well, I guess Rudolph definitely needs his nose, and it looks like it's up to you. Hooray, yelled the kids. They were so excited. How are we going to find the nose? Said Jace. Well, I don't know, said Pim Pim. I've got an idea, said Scarlett. What is your idea? Said Pim Pim. Maybe we should go backwards to all the places that you've been, and hopefully we'll find his nose somewhere. Oh, okay, that sounds like a very fun adventure. I like this idea. I played this game once before. It is a very good game to play. Okay, let's do this. Okay, everybody, please climb on the back of the Rudolph. So, Jace and Scarlett both climbed on the back of Rudolph behind Pim Pim. Okay, everybody wave goodbye. And the kids waved as Rudolph lifted into the sky, and the kids were galloping through the air with Pim Pim and Rudolph. As they zoomed along, Scarlett turned to Pim Pim. Pim Pim, where was the first place that you went? Well, the first place is actually a very exciting location. We were at a very fun party with all the other reindeers and lots of other animals, and we were doing the big dance party because did you know that there is a very special dance that all the reindeers do? Really, said Jace. Really, said Pim Pim. Come, let's go. So, the kids raced along with Rudolph and Pim Pim, and they zoomed through the sky. All of a sudden, they could see some bright flashing lights in the distance. That is where we are going, said Pim Pim. Quick, Rudolph, let's go. I could do some more dancing, he said, wiggling his tummy back and forth. Okay, said the kids. Rudolph galloped down into the middle of the area, and as he landed, all the other animals stopped dancing, and they looked.
Pim Pim,
said a giant elephant.
That is not an animal. Those are children.
Yes, they are children, and look, they can dance. What? Said Jace. Do a dance, said Pim Pim. Okay, said Jace. He wiggled and did a bit of a dance.
Oh, that's a good one,
said the big elephant. Hello, little girl, said a peacock from the side. Would you like to do some dancing too? It said as it fluffed up all the feathers at its back. Oh, yes, please, said Scarlett. But to do some fun dancing, would you like some peacock feathers? Oh, yes, please, said Scarlett. So the peacock pulled out 3 of its feathers and popped them in Scarlett's hair. She looked very beautiful. Okay, your turn to dance. Scarlett started to spin and twirl, and all the animals were amazed. Jace joined back in, and in no time at all, Jace and Scarlett were making up dance moves, and all the animals were trying to copy. It was very funny watching animals with 4 legs trying to do dances of kids with 2 legs. Oh, okay, everybody, let's watch Pim Pim, and I will do the very funny dance. Everyone stopped and looked at Pim Pim, and Pim Pim went to the middle. Okay, everybody, do the Pim Pim spin. spin, said Pim Pim, and he started to spin around. And he spun faster and faster and faster. Let's do it, said Jace. Okay, said Scarlet. The kids started to spin around as well. Watching the kids copy and join in, the animals got very excited, and they decided that they would do it as well. In no time at all the animals and the kids were all spinning around in circles. It looked ridiculous. But the strange thing about the Pim Pim spin is that the faster they spun, they started to lift into the air, and they turned into spinning tops, bouncing around the dance floor, bumping into each other. It was so much fun. As they all slowly stopped spinning and came back down to the ground, Pim Pim looked across. Okay, what were we doing here? We were trying to find Rudolph's nose, said Scarlet. Oh yes, let's have a look. They started looking around the dance floor. All the animals joined in and helped, but nobody could find Rudolph's nose anywhere. Oh dear, the nose is not here, said Pim Pim. Oh well, said Jace. I guess we'll have to go to the next place. Where are we going? Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, everybody back on Rudolph. So Pim Pim, Jace and Scarlet all jumped back on Rudolph, who was still a little bit disappointed about missing his nose. But he was even more surprised when the elephant tried to climb on as well.
Can I come?
No, you cannot come. You're too big for a Rudolph.
Oh, said the elephant. And Rudolph lifted off into the air and started galloping off in a different direction. But this direction was almost straight up. Where are we going, Pim Pim?
Well, we're going to see some of my other friends because in a lot of countries it does a lot of snowing during the Christmas time, and we wanted to have some snow, and the best place for some snow is up in the Cloudy Snow Kingdom.
The Cloudy Snow Kingdom, said Jace.
Yes, it is a very fun place. Let's go!
They galloped higher and higher and higher until they burst through some clouds. It was very, very chilly up there. And then they burst through some more clouds that felt quite thick. What's going on, said Scarlet.
We're almost through the snow layer. Okay, one more. Everybody hold on to your elbows.
What? said Jace. Quick, said Pim Pim. They all grabbed onto their elbows as they burst through the last layer. It was freezing cold. Pim Pim, why did you make us hold our elbows, said Scarlet.
Because, said Pim Pim, it's freezing, and this is a good shivering posture.
What? said the kids. As they looked around, they noticed that there was a whole bunch of people made entirely out of snow. And they came racing over with big fur coats. They put one on Pim Pim, one on Scarlet, and one on Jace. Oh, that's nicer, they said. Yes, said the snow people. It is very cold up here, so you need to be wearing a very special jacket. Welcome to the Snowy Cloud Kingdom. Oh, thank you, they said. Now, the special thing about the Snowy Cloud Kingdom is everybody is royalty.
I know, this is the best part, said Pim Pim. Do you have my crown?
Yes, Pim Pim, we have saved it for you. They brought over a very funny-looking crown with all kinds of strange jingly bells and things and popped it on Pim Pim's head. There you go, Prince Pim Pim.
Thank you, said Pim Pim. Would you kids like to be royalty too?
Me, please, said Scarlet. I always wanted to be a princess.
Okay, can we make this girl a very special cloud snowy princess?
Of course, Pim Pim. Certainly. All of a sudden, snowy cloud people came from all different directions. They made a beautiful princess dress that seemed to be made entirely out of clouds. They wrapped it around Scarlet over the top of her other clothes, and then they put a very incredible crown on top of her head. This crown seemed to be made completely out of crystal. But in the middle of the crystal, there were flashing sparkly lights. It was amazing. You are now Princess Scarlet of the Snowy Cloud Kingdom. Wow, she said. That's amazing. And you, young man, we need to make you a prince. A bunch of cloud people came storming out from different directions and they all started bumping into Jace. Whoa, ow, ooh, ow, he said as they all bumped into him. And then a giant cloud person did a big body slam on top of him. Jace scrunched up, but instead of getting hurt, he got covered in cloud clothes. Look at me, said Jace. He had a very funny looking costume on and a beautiful cloud for a crown. Hooray! You are Prince Jace. Now, Pim Pim, why have you come back here?
I don't remember, he said.
Pim Pim, said Jace, we're trying to find Rudolph's nose.
Oh yes, do you have Rudolph's red nose? I believe it might be here somewhere.
Let us go look, said the cloud people. So all the cloud people started searching the entire kingdom, but Rudolph's nose could not be found anywhere.
Oh dear, said Pim Pim. I'm so sorry, Rudolph. We can't seem to find your nose anywhere. I don't even understand how you can lose a nose. Your nose looks like it's there, but it's just not your nose, he said.
Rudolph turned around and looked at Pim Pim. He said. Oh dear, said the kids. I don't have any other ideas.
I guess we will just have to go back home, said Pim Pim.
Do we need to give these clothes back, said Jace.
No, the cloud people are very generous. You can keep those ones.
Hooray, they cheered. But what about Rudolph? What are we going to do?
I don't know, but maybe we could give him a bit of a cuddle to cheer him up.
Yeah, and sometimes animals like to have a bit of a scratch behind the ears or a pat on the head. Let's try that, said Jace.
Good idea, said Pim Pim.
So the kids came around Rudolph and started to give him a pat and a cuddle. As they were tickling him behind the ears, all of a sudden, Jace felt something. Hey, there's something hard here. I don't know what it is. Hang on. He was trying to work out what it was when all of a sudden, click! And with that, Rudolph's nose lit back up. Whoopee! Said Rudolph, jumping into the air. Rudolph was so excited.
Oh yes, I forgot about that,
said Pim Pim. Forgot about what? Said Jace.
I found a funny little switch behind Rudolph's ears and I was playing with it while we were flying. I must have forgot to turn it back on,
said Pim Pim. Oh, Pim Pim, said the kids. Said Rudolph. The kids all laughed. Rudolph was happy once again. His nose was back to bright red.
Okay, kids, I guess I better fly you all the way back home. Let's go, said Pim Pim.
So Rudolph jumped up into the air and started flying the kids all the way back home. As they were zooming down towards the ground, their dad could see them coming from a mile away because Rudolph's nose was back to bright red. As they landed down on the ground, the kids climbed off. Well, said their dad, whereabouts did you find Rudolph's nose? On his face, said Jace. What? Said their dad. Well, said Scarlet, I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you. And that is the end of the story.
This episode is brought to you by Reindeer Blinkers. Do you own a reindeer that needs some new blinkers installed so people can tell if they're turning left or turning right? Well, call me, the Pim Pim, and I will install the special switches on your reindeers so that they can indicate which direction they are going. We hope that you've been enjoying the silly stories for kids. Head over to the website for other ways to get involved or to join the family. This has been me, the Pim Pim.
And me, Sam. We'll see you soon.